Shall we be one species or a million? That's the question physicist Freeman Dyson asked when discussing the human expansion into space. For if we succeed in colonizing the solar system and beyond, we will never be the same again. Humanity will change in ways we can hardly imagine as we move into new environments in both interplanetary and interstellar space, and someday perhaps even on worlds around other suns. To try to understand this, we should turn to anthropology, the study of what makes us human. Anthropology stands at the intersection of the humanities and the hard sciences. At times it's humanities, such as when we study the impact of languages on societies. At other times it's the hard sciences, such as when we study the evolution of our ancient ancestors in physical anthropology. At the best of times, anthropology is both humanities and hard sciences. We tend to usually think about anthropologists as studying the past and the present. But some anthropologists speculate about alternative futures, and in particular, the impact of our movement into space. Already, researchers are telling us that we're seeing an evolution of consciousness, or a change in the way of thinking as a result of seeing our planet from space. Many astronauts return to the Earth with a new commitment for environmental protection and world peace. This sort of reaction was forecast in 1948 by the British astronomer Fred Hoyle, who said the following: "Once a photograph of the Earth taken from the outside is available, a new idea as powerful as any in history will be let loose." This is indeed what has happened. The view of the Earth as seen from partway to the moon has acted as a catalytic symbol, changing the way we think about our world. With one glance, you can see that the planet is not only amazingly beautiful, but that all of the elements of the biosphere are interconnected. I'd like to quote to you from Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell. "Suddenly, from behind the rim of the moon, in the long slow motion moments of immense majesty, there emerges a sparkling blue and white jewel. A light, delicate sky blue sphere laced with slowly swirling veils of white, rising gradually like a small pearl in a thick sea of black mystery. It takes more than a moment to fully realize this is Earth, home." It's no coincidence that within 2 years of the 1968 Apollo 8 flight that gave us our first views of Earthrise over the moon, we saw the formation of Environment Canada, the US Environmental Protection Agency, Greenpeace, and the world's first Earth Day. And you can be sure that successful space colonists will be masters of applied ecology and nonviolent conflict resolution. Those who don't will have a tough time surviving in the harsh, unforgiving environment of outer space. Anthropologists also tell us that by moving into deep space, we will let loose the forces of physical evolution that originally led to the formation of many types of hominins and eventually us Homo sapiens. By establishing isolated, relatively small populations of human beings, favorable genetic changes can take root much more readily than if we all stay on the Earth in one huge, constantly intermingling pot. Accelerating this genetic change will be the ionizing radiation of space and the pressures of harsh environments. For that reason, space colonists may very well decide to engage in genetic engineering that would be forbidden back on the Earth. As Freeman Dyson said, if we truly do migrate into the cosmos, we will become, eventually, many different species. I'd like to end by quoting science fiction writer Ray Bradbury, who sums this up very well. "What I to ape man, and what then he to me? I an ape man one day will seem to be, to those who after us look back from Mars, and they in turn mere beasts will seem, to those who reach the stars.